Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you along with me while I show you how I meal plan for the week. I'll show you my grocery haul, and then we are going to wash and prep our veggies and fruit for the week ahead. As I promised in my last video, I'm also going to be taking you along to make homemade butter with me, and you're going to see all my rookie mistakes, but you're also going to see how simple and beautiful it all turns out. If you're new here, I'm Lizzy Reyes, and I enjoy all things homemaking, cooking, cleaning, decorating, and the like. If that's your kind of content, you're my kind of girl, and I would love it if you chose to subscribe. Okay, let's get things started on this cold winter day. So I like to start off by grabbing 3 different things. I grab my calendar, I grab my pad of paper that I can write down my menu on for the week, as well as a grocery list. If you don't have one of these, that's fine. Just grab a piece of paper. And I like to grab a notebook. And with this notebook, you can see me charting it out. I will write fridge items, the pantry items or counter items, and then freezer items. And I'm going to show you real quick here. And under these different sections, I go through my refrigerator and write down all the things that need to be used so that I can plan my upcoming menu for the week based on those items so that nothing goes to waste. This is a really important step. It's crucial for making sure there's no waste, using what you have. That way you're not, having a growing grocery list that gets really expensive and then throwing out food that's perfectly good. I just look at my week ahead. I see if there's anything going on at night. I also like to pull out my weather app. So if it's like going to be a snowy day or a rainy day, or it's going to be extra cold, or if it's like summertime and it's going to be extra hot, I am not going to want to be planning something to cook on that night that would be heating up my kitchen if it's the summertime. I would want to be more conscious of that. I also would like to maybe have something extra comfort food, like, if it's going to be a cold or rainy day. So I do like to take that into consideration. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my entire fridge. This is also a good time to get rid of anything that's old or expired, so that you can make room for the incoming groceries. So I'm just going to be taking stock of the items in my refrigerator, in my freezer, in my pantry, maybe even my cold storage at times, and maybe any fruit or vegetables that might be on the counters. So this is when I do those things. Then I'm going to be showing you next what I do with this list to help me make a really solid plan for the upcoming week ahead. Okay, this is the part where we really get down to making the menu. I like to take another separate piece of paper and chart this one out, but this one is going to have sections for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and at times it will have snacks/desserts because I don't always bake. So if I'm feeling in the mood or I have ingredients that really need to be used, I'll write down some ideas under those types of things. I'm going to look at my previous list where I took stock of all the things that need to be used for the week, and I will start to brainstorm different menus or different meal ideas based on those ingredients to help use those up. And at the same time, simultaneously, I will also add to my grocery list any items that might need to supplement to make that meal possible. So I might have 2 out of the 3 main ingredients that I need for that meal. And so that one that I'm missing, I will make sure to try and add to my menu as I go so that I don't forget things, because that's just how my brain works. I forget things really quickly. So if some weeks I can fill almost an entire menu and I don't have a whole lot of things I need to shop for, and then other weeks I can fill maybe half of my menu with things I already have on hand. It just varies. And if I have one of those weeks where I need to supplement with new meal ideas, I will search Pinterest. I will ask my family if there's anything they've been wanting lately. And then I will just add to the menu based on like different nights, things that are going on. Maybe I don't want to cook something that's super involved because we need to get out the door. We have meetings and activities. And so I just plan for those things ahead. And then I will make sure I go through my menu and have all the things on my list that I need to have ready for shopping the next day. And that's where we're going to head next. You're going to go grocery shopping with me. So let's do it. Hey friends, I'm going to take you along on going grocery shopping. I am going to be first stopping off at the DI, which is a donation center, so I can clear out the back of my car because I don't know if anybody's like me, but I can just drive around for weeks if I'm not on top of it, and I will just have donation stuff in the back of my car. So I'm going to make room in the back of my car and do myself a favor, drop those things off. Then we're going to go stop by Trader Joe's. I've been shopping there a little more lately and I really like it. So we're going to do that. And then we're gonna go to Costco, and after we get home from Costco, I'm gonna give you a quick grocery haul, talk to you about my menu for the week. I did all my planning last night. It was a holiday on Monday, so on my menu plan, I don't have anything written down for Monday. I flew back in on Sunday. Monday we played by ear, just kind of figured out stuff that we had already on hand. And now I am trying to prepare for my week ahead. So I'll give you an overview and show you in comparison to what my menu for the week looks like. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, we're coming up on the donation center. So we're gonna drop these things off and then we will head down to Trader Joe's. You're a silly girl. Ta-da! Super fast. They always have a lot of workers out, even when they might have a few cars.
Mama, why?
Yes, sweetie?
Why the guy is returning the dog bowl?
The dog bowl?
Yeah.
Did we put a dog? We might have put a dog bowl in there. It's been a while since I put those bags together.
But why? You got dog bowl in there.
They're pretty quick. So now we're gonna go to Trader Joe's.
Yay!
Okay, we're coming up on Trader Joe's. My Trader Joe's is like right on the same premise as our local mall. Don't ask me why. Kind of weird, but it is. It's a brand new one. They put the building up with anticipation that Trader Joe's was going to come in. We have been waiting for a Trader Joe's for like 15 years in our area. We've really been trying to convince them to open up, and it's been good. I think it always seems like it's been really successful here. They're always busy, and we're like the furthest south that there's a Trader Joe's right now in Utah. So yeah, so we're gonna go in. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of sorry for the lighting, a whole lot of just browsing. I am gonna go in. I know exactly what I need to get because I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the video. I still need to get, sorry about the lighting, I still need to get gas. So let's go in and see what Trader Joe's has for us. we just finished inside of Trader Joe's. My hands are like super numb. It's 18 degrees out. And I know a lot of places across the US are way colder than that, but we are cold with no snow to show for it. And that's the depressing part. So I figure if it's gonna be cold, it might as well snow, but we've had a terrible snow precipitation winter this year, and so we're praying for more snow, but what the hey, it is what it is. But now we're gonna head to Costco and get some gas, and then we are going to head into Costco and do some shopping. Thankfully there's like no line. Usually by this time in the morning, especially with having had a holiday the day before and then being closed because I'm getting Costco gas, they usually have lines, but they are super open. It's very unusual. So we're gonna get some gas to fill up. I never like to let my tank go more lower, I should say, than about half tank. So I am filling up my car every week just about, because I come to Costco like every week. And so before I hit the store, I'll go in and fill up my car first so that my groceries aren't melting while I'm getting gas after. And so, but yeah, that just is the way I do things. But right now I have 91 miles to eat. And that's only because I didn't have my car over the weekend and my husband took it everywhere, and he will drive until it's like 3 miles left. That's happened, no joke, true story. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some gas, but I don't like it being this low. It makes me really nervous. I just always like to be prepared. And so I'm gonna fill up. Okay, we got back from dropping off donations, going to Trader Joe's, and then to Costco, and I have everything here on the table to show you. We're gonna start with Costco. I got some mint protein drinks, chocolate mint, a group of bananas. The Red Bull was on sale. Unfortunately, we like to drink those. 2 gallons of milk for my older kids. I have 2 packs of tuna. I feel like that's the best value out there for tuna. And then some short grain brown rice, a 3-pack of Clorox. That actually worked out to be slightly cheaper than getting 3 of the same size of the Walmart brand of bleach. So I went ahead and got it at Costco. And then I got a bag of Honey Crisps, a bag of yellow apples, well, 2 bags of yellow apples. My husband already got into these chomps. We haven't had those for a couple weeks. I got a package of chicken breast. This should last us a little over the week, a little more than this coming week. But I was out. We finally ran out of our Parmesan cheese, and I'll show you how I make this go further without it going bad, because there's no way we could use this within like 2 months or whatever. So I got that. These tortillas at Costco, the ones they sell now, at least at my Costco, are so delicious. And we used to get the ones that you had to cook, and it was a different brand. I don't remember the name. But these ones are softer. They taste more floury, if that's a word. And then I got these Unreal multi-packs. Let me zoom out. I got the Unreal chocolates. I like to offer these to my kids after dinner on just a normal night, nothing fancy with no extra desserts. These are just a clean, sugar-free, for the most part, treat for them to choose, and they feel like they're getting like M&Ms or something. And these, I believe, are dyed naturally. Yeah, so if you look close, it says colored with beet juice, spirulina extract. And so these are like naturally dyed. They're not the chemicals. So I would love that. I have a recipe that I made up when I was having digestive issues at the beginning of my journey on that. And the recipe calls for shaved Brussels sprouts. And my kids absolutely adore it. I got a package of tomatoes. I got a 3-pack of cucumbers, and I'm going to be prepping a lot of this food for the week. So we're going to include that later in this video. I got fresh power greens because mine were just a little sad. but I plan on using this whole bag. I'm going to cook it down this week. And then I got a pineapple. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. It's not that I didn't have a plan. I had a big plan. I was going to make homemade butter, but I didn't look closely at the store. This is ultra pasteurized, and it's really not a good idea to do homemade butter with ultra pasteurized. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do. But I'm going to take a chance on these grapes. I feel like Costco is either really good or really bad. And then I got some organic whole milk for my kids, my littlest guys, my last 3. And I got nectarines. I know nectarines in January in Utah, you would think, Lizzy, that's a bad idea. Maybe it is, but they smelled good. And I'm going to try and ripen them in a brown paper bag. So we'll see how that goes. And then we got more oranges. We were all out. We're all out of avocados. These are all things like we use every week. And all of these apples, I might be able to have a few left over at the end of the week, but my kids absolutely adore these yellow apples. When they come out in the winter time, they're gone. They're like candy in our house. Then I got some more potatoes. I got this for my lunches during the week on top of my salads that I make. I'll show you my favorite salad. This is Trader Joe's. Sorry, we've moved on to Trader Joe's. And so there's a salad I'll show you that I got more of. Some parsley, some packages of celery. We don't usually have juice in our house, but I thought I would get this unfiltered 100% apple juice that's not from concentrate. I'm going to take a chance on these sugared rice cracker hearts. They look super cute. I'm going to use those for Valentine's. We had these once before Christmas time or New Year's, and they're the tiniest chocolate chip cookies. They're crunchy, but they're so good. They're gone. They feel like a little bowl, and then they're gone. So I'll show you how I use those. And then I'm going to have butternut squash vegan mac and cheese. I know it sounds probably not the greatest or the most appetizing, but I've had something similar and I want to try the recipe. I really want to include nutritional yeast into our diet more frequently. So nutritional yeast is going to be part of the butternut squash mac and cheese. And then I got these frozen macarons. I will not try to attempt to say them the French way because they will come out terribly. And then I got these caramel hearts. They're dark chocolate. You can see them a little bit. And these jelly bean hearts, which I thought were so adorable. I've never seen something like that. So again, I'm going to be using all of these for Valentine's Day for something fun for my kids. And I think I'm going to include these as well. This is the second time I've bought these. They're chocolatey cats cookies. They're so fun. They're really delicious. My daughter gets super possessive of them, my 4-year-old. She thinks that they're hers and she's sharing with everyone else. And then 2 bags of carrots. We're going to try this Kung Pao chicken as something to keep in the freezer. So instead of going out to eat, if I'm just not feeling well one night, like I'm just worn out or whatever, I have something in the freezer that's better than going out. It's not our daily, but this is something to just keep on hand. Trader Joe's, if you're looking for a good sourdough outside of California, Trader Joe's has a legit tangy sourdough. And so if you're looking for one and you have a Trader Joe's, I highly recommend stocking up on those. This is the salad that I absolutely crave. I'm like, my mouth is watering right now just looking at it, and it's lunchtime. So I already have one open in my fridge, but I got another one to pair with my other whole bag in the fridge that isn't open. But this is the super delicious one. Believe it or not, these Trader Joe large cage-free vegetarian-fed eggs with no antibiotics used are slightly cheaper than the ones if you buy like a 5 dozen pack at Costco, and I got 5 dozen here. It's slightly cheaper, and let me tell you, these yolks are more orange. They're darker, which means they're a more nutrient-dense egg. So yes, I'm going to be buying my eggs at Trader Joe's as much as possible whenever I can. Now we're moving on to Walmart. Walmart was more of a stock up of things I keep in my cold storage, more long term. I'm trying to think. There might be a few things I might have put downstairs because this order I picked up right after I dropped my kids off from school, and I kind of had to put some things away. Yeah, there was 2 bags of lettuce and something else that was refrigerated. I gotta look. But I got a bunch of red lentils. We ran out completely of lentils, and lentils are really good for iron. And since we have teenage girls and myself, it's really important to stay up on iron, and they're high in protein. So I stocked back up on lentils. I didn't have any more egg noodles, so I got more egg noodles. I got 4 boxes of these because there's like maybe half full. It's super small amount, but they're so good. And I prefer them. I like the extra crispy crunchiness of them, kind of like a rice cracker, but a little more dense. And then I'm going to try these. We just had a lot of sweet snacky items and not savory, so that's why I got so many of these. And then small shells, elbows, penne, bow ties. We like tapatio. I'm a California girl. Tapatio is made in California. It's very common to eat or add on to your food. They didn't have any of the animal cookies, so I got the pretzels as a substitution. I've been on a beef jerky kick, guys, and I've tried lots of different brands. It just comes back down to Jack Link's, and I love the sweet and hot the most. So that's kind of like my splurge snacky item. I got panko breadcrumbs for this week. I have some recipes coming up, and I have Dijon mustard as well for this week. Capers for this week. And then because it didn't fit over on the Costco side, I have a package of bath tissue. One thing I couldn't get at Costco this week was a package of paper towels because I just didn't have room in my cart. And we don't go through paper towels as much, so I'll get that next week. But I did buy myself some beautiful coral colored roses, and they're so full. They're like huge, full of petals. And then I got some of these, I don't even know what they're called. Maybe you guys do. But they're like these berry filler things and some greenery. I like this greenery. So we'll put together an arrangement. And let's go ahead and get this stuff put away, especially the frozen stuff. And get some fruit and veggies prepped for meals this week. So let's go ahead and do that. So to start this process off, I actually disinfect and try to sanitize and clean my sink really well. And I will use scalding hot water and scrub it down. And then I'll plug it up, fill it with cold water, add my vinegar, not too much, just a splash. It really depends on how full you want to get your sink. And then I gently place in fruits and vegetables. I will do these in batches. I just don't have a really large sink, so I will do like fruit and vegetables together. So like I wouldn't put apples in with those tomatoes. That's going to be a separate round. But in the meantime, while those are soaking in that vinegar water, I'm going to be cleaning out my fruit basket that I fill up every week. There's a lot of little hands that touch and go through this basket, so it's a really good idea to just freshen it up. And then I'm going to pull it away and wipe down the surrounding counter area, and you'll see that it's actually really dusty. Even though I clean my kitchen regularly, I usually, even in the wintertime, will crack my window here, and it cracks on this side that we're looking at. And so a lot of dust and different particles will come in throughout the week. And so I have to wipe down this area frequently. You can see there, it's very dusty. And I'm just going to replace it back. I'm going to set out fresh hand towels or dish towels on my counter, lay them out so that I can place my fruit and vegetables on them as I'm rinsing them off. And then that way they can air dry and be ready to either place in containers or chop up and then place in containers and then put into my refrigerator. I like to use this extendable basket. I did buy it on Amazon. I can link it down in the description if that's helpful for you. And just rinsing these things off so they don't have the vinegar water on them anymore or any particles. And then again, just putting it on these dish towels and letting them air dry. One of the things I consider a bonus about prepping fruits and vegetables for the week, especially with things like berries and grapes, is you can really go through and see which ones are bad and just starting to be overripe, and that would cause the rest of them to go rotten. And you're really separating those out, throwing them out so that your produce can last as long as possible. I also like to refill my egg trays so that I can have as many on hand on the inside fridge as possible, and then the rest I store out in the garage. For my cucumbers, I don't know if this is a real thing or not, but I was told that it helps them be less bitter or not be bitter if you chop off the ends, switch them, and then rub them on the ends like you see here. I don't know if it's a myth or if it's not, but I just have done that for the past couple years and it's been great. So I'm just chopping them up. I like to do different things with my cucumbers just to change things up and make it fun for my kids. Here they are all chopped up and ready for the week. Here's a lot of my different produce. The avocados are green and hard, so I just left them out on the counter. I have my grapes and my tomatoes washed and ready. And this really encourages my kids to devour this fruit. And so, and those nectarines actually turned out to be absolutely primo, and they did not have any more the following week when I went. So that was a bummer. Here we are going to be showing you all my rookie mistakes, starting with this one on making homemade butter. I put this entire half gallon all in the bowl. And I thought, oh, it'll be fine. I'll just put this little protector thing around it. And you'll see in a second, it overflowed. And I had a mess to clean up. But there was beautiful butter in the end. I was told the ultra pasteurized cream was not the best cream to use to make butter. But I didn't want it to go to waste, and this was a lot of heavy cream, so I was like, well, I'll just give it a try. And it still turned out. I am going to try and compare it to how regular pasteurized heavy cream will be for butter, so we'll see. But you can see my giant mess. Once it turned to butter, it really started sloshing the buttermilk everywhere, and so I just had to clean it up. But here you can see it's beautiful butter. And I'm just separating it out, getting it out of the mixer so I can take it to the sink and wash it so that it doesn't taste sour like buttermilk. And then I'm going to strain the buttermilk just to get all those little bits of tiny butter out of it. And then I'm going to wash the butter and we'll go from there. So the reason you want to rinse the butter after it's done mixing is because there's still buttermilk in and around the butter, and if you don't rinse it off, it can taste very gross actually. And so you're just going to want to rinse it in cold water so that it holds together and doesn't really melt. And I just keep dumping the bowl and rinsing and rinsing. I break it up into quite a few chunks here. And that's because it was just so much. Because again, I did the rookie mistake of doing a ton of cream. So I shook some salt over it, but then I started to realize, because I'm new at this, that on the parchment paper they were sitting on, some of the water that was coming off of it was still a little murky. And so I felt like I needed to do a second wash of these smaller pieces. And I think it turned out, well, it was worth it. But some of the pieces didn't have salt in them anymore because I'd salted it and then rinsed some of them again. And so I end up remixing them all together on the counter here in just a second after I'm done rinsing this quinoa. So this quinoa has been soaking for a few hours. And I rinse it probably 7 or 8 times. And I'm really squishing it in my hands, trying to get all that murky stuff off. That actually needs to be soaked off because it will prevent your body from being able to absorb and access the nutrients that quinoa has to offer. So I actually rinse it really well, and then I decided to let it sprout overnight, which makes the quinoa taste really good. It's not bitter. It's very fluffy and soft. And when it's sprouted, your body can, again, it's even easier for it to access those nutrients. So I highly recommend sprouting your quinoa overnight. Now I'm just shaping the butter, cutting it into wannabe cubes. So there's no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just kind of making it happen. This is, again, all new for me. And then I'm going to wrap them separately into parchment paper because I didn't have any wax paper, and it worked out fine. Tape does not work on parchment paper. I guess that's a duh, but I tried it and it didn't work. So I just wrapped them and stuck them in a big Ziploc bag, and then left one out so that we could have one to use. And then the rest I popped in the freezer because I didn't want this to go bad. I'm not as confident about homemade butter being good as long on the counter as like store-bought butter. I just don't know that yet, and so I decided to freeze it. That's what I usually do. I usually keep butter in the freezer anyway, so it was fine with me. But then we're going to get this all put away, and then we're going to do some floral arranging.
If I love all the ways the world puts me to the test, if I embrace every fall, learn to grow and keep myself tall, would it hurt at all? I hold my breath, waiting for someone to knock at my door.
Okay, ladies, don't be shy. It's your time to shine. Let us know down in the comments any meal planning tips you have that I may not have mentioned or may have missed, because I love learning from others too. If you missed my Valentine's Decorate With Me video, I'll have that link on screen, and don't miss out on any future content, so make sure that you're subscribed. Until next time, take care. Bye!